Catalyst Book Method. I'm your girl, Monica Wisdom, and I am your guide through this process. This process was birthed out of my own process of writing my book, keeping my promise to myself that this year I would become an author. Now, I wrote my book in 72 hours. I'm not asking you to do that, but I am asking you to say yes to committing to the next 30 days of completing your manuscript. But before we write a single word, I need you to understand one thing. We are not here to write a book. I know, I know. We are here to write a catalyst, a book that opens doors, builds authority, and reshapes how people see you. That's a very different mission than just getting published. So let's start with what a catalyst book is and what it is not. It is not a memoir, it is not a diary, and it is not 200 pages of you sharing every story from your life, hoping someone finds meaning in it. That's not what we're building here. A catalyst book is a strategic asset. It's written for the reader. It's not written for self-expression, though your voice will be in every word. It's written for impact, clarity, and authority. This book positions you as a thinker, a leader, and someone who holds solutions. Not someone who just tells a story, but someone who has a framework, a method, and a transformation that others need. Think of it this way. A memoir says, here's what happened to me. A catalyst book says, here's what I learned, here's how you can apply it, and here's what shift you will make when you do. I'm telling you, it's a whole different focus than putting out a bestseller. And I don't mean a bestseller meaning it sold the most. I'm meaning the type of book that most people put out. This is about you excelling your knowledge and your method and putting it out into the world. So let me say this in the most gentle way possible. This book is not about you. It's for you because it will benefit your business and your opportunities, but it's written for them, the person who needs to hear what you know. And this is why it matters more than ever. I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years or more, maybe now. I started when I was 18. And I'm the daughter of an entrepreneur, so I know the game from way, way back, right? When I was coming up, we did word of mouth. I had a pager, and I would put flyers everywhere. Now we have social media. And every year that social media evolves with technology and AI, attention spans are shrinking. Content is everywhere, and we are drowning in information. But here's the thing. We're starving for credibility. Anyone can post, and anyone can create. But a book still carries weight. There's still something a bit prestigious about becoming an author. In every industry, media, speaking, partnerships, brand deals, a book is the fastest authority building tool you can have. It says you didn't just think about this, but you documented it and structured it. And not only that, you committed to it. And here's the truth that most people miss. AI, it can generate words. It can write a blog post. It can write captions, even whole articles. But it cannot generate your lived experience. It cannot synthesize years of struggle, resilience, transformation, falling down, getting back up, and the wisdom that you have gained from all of those things that you have experienced in your life. And here's the thing. AI can't discover new ideas. It only regenerates the ideas that have been input into the system. So, what you bring is innovation, and that's what makes your book irreplaceable. Now, let's talk about what has to shift within you for this process to succeed. I call it the identity shift. I want you to understand something deeper. This process is not just about finishing a book, it's about stepping into authorship. Authorship is an identity, not just something you accomplished. When you become an author, you are claiming a different kind of presence. You're saying, my voice matters enough to be documented. My wisdom matters enough to be preserved. And my work matters enough to live beyond a social media post, a group chat, or a fleeting conversation. This book is not just pages, it's positioning, proof, and legacy. Now, here's the thing. You're creating something that will outlive your news feed, your campaigns, and your current moment, and your current circumstances. Something someone can hold in their hands 5 years from now and say, this book changed how I think, how I live, and overall my whole life. Let's talk about what this program will do for you. This experience is not about becoming a writer. This is about becoming an author. A woman who finishes what she starts and documents what she knows. Over the next 6 modules, you will move through every stage of authorship. So let's talk about it. Phase 1, vision and voice. You will define what you're writing and why. You will clarify who your reader is, your message, and your transformational promise. This is where the book becomes real in your mind before it ever gets written on paper. Now, phase 2 is the catalyst blueprint. You'll create a structure that holds your book together. You'll turn your experience into a framework, and that framework will become the book architecture that guides every chapter. And in phase 3, the writing system, you'll build a rhythm that feels like finishing is inevitable. This is where you'll teach your process. And it's the same process that I use to complete my book in 72 hours. But I have switched up for everybody else that's not as methodical and obsessed as I am into a 30-day container that works with your life, not against it. So this is about being in the flow. And then in phase 4, manuscript mastery, you'll define and refine your ideas and strengthen your voice. This is where raw writing becomes polished prose without losing the fire and the passion that makes it all yours. And in phase 6, we'll talk about visibility and positioning. Because remember, this is a catalyst book, not a novel. You'll prepare your book for the impact beyond the page. What happens next? Because the book is not the end. It is just the beginning of your authority, your platform, and your next level of opportunity. And then we complete with phase 6, publishing pathways. Now, although this entire process is about you completing your manuscript, we're going to talk about publishing, but not get too deep into it, because I really want you to focus on getting done. But I want you to understand the options for your book when you're ready to share it with the world, from self-publishing to the traditional routes, and how it makes it easier to make a choice of what direction that you want to go into. You'll write the structure, the clarity, the purpose, just so it's simplified, easy to understand. Now that you understand what we're building together, I want to introduce myself formally. I'm Monica Wisdom, And I want you to know why this method exists and why I'm the one teaching it to you. Every year I wrote on my New Year's resolutions, author, and it was always at the top of the list. This year I was determined to make it happen. My love for writing began when I was 7 years old. My mother gave me my first diary with a lock and a key and a pen that matched, and I was hooked. At that time, I wasn't talking. Some things had happened, and I had become silenced, and she knew something was going on, but I wouldn't tell her what. And to this day, she has passed on, and I still never shared it with her. But in that moment, words became my friend, and in that moment, I was able to express myself in my diary. 18 years later, or when I was 18, I joined the beauty industry. And even though I was in the beauty industry and loved it, my love for writing never shifted. It lived inside of me every single day. And it's also part of everything I've built since then. In the beauty industry, I became an educator for Sebastian International and director of education for Salon Resources. In that role, I created workshops and curriculum for leaders in the beauty industry, just like this one. Words were always at the center of what I did. Teaching, building, helping others find their voice. And that path led me to work for a magazine where I became director of operations, interviewing people about their stories, about their spirituality, with this magazine called Today in Church. I interviewed everybody from Olympians to musicians to innovators, from Vanetta Flowers to Kirk Whalum to Evander Holyfield. And that's how I learned to pull the truth out of people and help them see the value in what they carried. Eventually, I moved on and started Black Women Amplified. It began as a blog, then it evolved into a podcast platform dedicated to amplifying the voices of Black women that often go unheard, our hidden figures, from Broadway stars like Tanya Pinkins and Marisha Wallace, to country artists like Chapel Hart and Reese Palmer, to even journalists like Rochelle Carey, and the innovators in our world that are Black women that we don't often hear about. Creating coffee companies, writing books, authors like Jane Allen and Denny Bryce and Nicole Glover, and powerful thinkers like Annette Freeman, who used to be the producer of the Today Show, and now she teaches women about pleasure. So women are making transformations everywhere. So I know you have a story to share, you have a solution to share, and you have knowledge to share. Because I've talked to hundreds of women, and it's buried deep inside of us, but we live in a society that says, one day, when I get done with this, then I'll do that. But here's the thing. As women, our stories deserve to be heard and preserved and venerated and shared. Story is the core of my life and business, and for years I helped others tell theirs, while my own book sat inside of notebooks, unfinished, until this year when I promised myself I would finish it. My book, Have We Lost the Plot, was written in 72 hours. Now that wasn't my intention, but I got lost in the process, and I was determined to get it done in the best way. For the first time, I was going to finish a book. Within a week, the book was written, edited, designed, and uploaded to my website. 7 days, done. It felt powerful to finally keep my promise to myself. I was like, well, when am I going to write my next book? That experience changed everything because I realized if I can do it in 72 hours, other women could do it in 30 days with the right structure, the right support, and the right system. I wanted to share this with women who've been sitting on their books for years, just like I did. Women with wisdom, with a framework, with stories that deserve to be documented. Books let people know that you're here. After interviewing several best-selling authors and consulting with writers on every level, I came to realize how expensive and overwhelming the book writing process can be. And not only that, we have to deal with our self-doubt, our insecurities, our fear of being seen. And I wanted to demystify all of that. I wanted to help women put their knowledge out into the world without it being confusing, without the gatekeeping, and without the endless waiting and the expense. I've talked to some women where they have spent of their own money $250,000 to get their book published so they can get on that bestsellers list. It's not necessary to get your work out there in that way, but you can. But a catalyst book will help you to get your work in front of people to open up opportunities, because books are more than credentials. They hold a special place in the world. And those who write a book move past socioeconomic status, educational level, and zip code. Being an author is not only prestigious, it secures your legacy. The Catalyst Book Method is a gateway to authorship. This is not the last book you'll write, it's the first. Once you understand this method, you will want to write again and again and again. And maybe then you will expand it to your memoir or expand it to a romance novel, because it's all about a system. This is why I built this for you, for the woman who's been carrying her book in her heart and needs someone to show her the way to finish it. Now let's talk about how to use this program and my promise to you. Each lesson is designed for you to listen, reflect, and act. It's important that you become a person of action, because you do it every day. Now I need you to do it for you. And here's how to get the most out of this experience. Listen first, absorb the concept before jumping into the exercise, and let the teaching land before you try to apply it. Write daily. Even 30 minutes a day will change your rhythm. Consistency beats intensity every single time. And I want you to stay accountable. Use the homework portal inside of where your course is. These exercises are not busy work, they're writing activators. Every single one builds momentum and clarity for your manuscript. Now, here is something I want you to write down in big letters. Write it on your mirror if you have to. Finish messy. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Remember, this is your first draft, and it does not have to be immaculate. It doesn't even have to be good. It just has to exist. Once you get in the portal, I want you to just overlook everything just to see how it operates. And if you have any questions, there's a messaging area inside of there that you can ask me questions, or you can email me. I'll send you my email address. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them for this, because you're stuck with me for the next 30 days. And you also will notice the homework. Don't skip any homework lesson. Each one is designed to move you closer to a completed manuscript. It's not just about clarity, it's about getting it done, because remember, this is a completion process. Now, my promise to you, by the end of the 30 days, you'll have a completed manuscript, one that reflects your wisdom, your framework, and your lived experience. You'll also have the mindset, structure, and tools to publish and position yourself as an author, as well as the expert that you already are. This is your author era. So let's make it real. Now, your first action step before we move on to Module 1, I want you to do something simple but powerful. I want you to finish this sentence. This book exists to, and then whatever that is for you. That's it. Just one sentence, no paragraph, no explanation, just a clear, honest declaration of why this book needs to exist. The one line becomes your compass. Every time you get lost in your writing, every time you doubt yourself, you will come back to the sentence and remember what you were building. So don't overthink it. Don't make it perfect. Just write it. Messy is fine. Messy is good. And you can refine it later. But your job right now is to simply declare it. Now that you understand what we're building together, who I am, how the program works, we're ready to begin. So I will see you in the next lesson. And thank you again for saying yes to yourself and committing to completing your book in the next 30 days. This is Monica Wisdom, and I will see you on the other side.